What are some guy secrets girls don't know about? Sometimes we don't talk to people cause we don't want to intimidate them. I might see a girl with a cool shirt on, but I don't want to make her think I'm coming on to her or something. Rather than freak her out that a 6'6" guy thinks she looks good today, I just leave her alone. Especially if we are on an elevator or something where she can't leave, if she actually is uncomfortable. If a guy told me that on my way out of the elevator and explained why he didn't say it while we were still in, I definitely think that's adorable. May even want to see him again. You have no idea how much women appreciate it when men understand how complicated and unsafe the world feels for women a lot of the time. 6 isn't all we want in a relationship. I'd rather be with someone who understands me, but only does it once in a while than someone who I have sex with every day, but don't connect with emotionally and mentally. Some of us are into things like cooking, cleaning, makeup, fashion, etc. It doesn't necessarily mean we are gay. Please don't tell us to man up. A lot of us were constantly told that growing up, whenever we tried to express ourselves, so you saying it will often bring up bad memories. Men can be abused. Men can be raped. Men also tend to be more suicidal because society tells us we are weak if we try to discuss these things. No, we don't enjoy being raped by a hot girl, and we often don't talk about it because people will often straight up tell us we are lying about it if we do. Many men have anxiety and/or depression, but we will not talk about and will get moderately annoyed at you for bringing it up. Holy shit, this got gold. Thank you, kind stranger. I remember when I thought this was a successful post when it had only like 30 upvotes. A lot of women don't understand that it takes us a lot longer to figure out how we feel about something than most women. Give us time to process and we'll bring it up if and when we want to talk about it. But don't try to push us to be emotional, since most men aren't as driven by feelings as most women. My dad fought in WWII on the European front and said the same guys would always cry out for their mothers. He reinforced how important it was to be gentle and nurturing to a boy. I don't know why, but this comment caused me to immediately weep. I can't wait to raise a son with this perspective. Men are so precious, and we need to love the hell out of them. A lot of porn is really weird. Just because we watched a video about banging a stepsister while her head was stuck in the dryer doesn't mean that's some sort of weird fantasy. The girl just looked good in the thumbnail. Best way I've ever heard it explained was no one wants to bang their sister, but everyone wants to bang their imaginary hot sister. I'm a woman. In college I complimented this random guy in line for coffee that he smelled really nice. It wasn't a pickup line or anything, I just enjoyed complimenting people. About a year later we ended up having a class together and I didn't recognize him at all. He came up to me and thanked me again for the compliment I gave him a year ago and said he hasn't forgotten about how nice that was for a stranger to be so upfront and to compliment him. We'll be married 7 years in June. Edit. Thank you for my first medal. I love sharing this story. After a shower, we have no problem drying our balls and face with the same towel. Most of the time we try to dry the face first, then the sack. But sometimes we have to go back to the face. We just hope we use an uncontaminated part of the towel. Edit. Uncontaminated. My balls are clean after a shower. Just, you know, wiping the balls then wiping my face is just kind of, yay. As an older man, we don't expect you to look like a supermodel as we age together. Yes, at times I do see you as I did 30 years ago, and every wrinkle and flaw disappears. Yes, there are times I see every wrinkle and flaw, and know how you got every one of them. They are beautiful too. I wish more older men would answer. The answers so far are cool, but I'm also interested in hearing how life experience affects what is said. I can vouch for this. I was upset with myself for not picking up what I thought were clear hints when he responded frustrated with, "I don't understand hints, just tell me what you want, woman." He really helped me communicate better. I don't know why we grow up thinking we can't directly ask for things. We don't care how popular or unpopular you are with other women, so it shouldn't factor into how you value yourself when dating. Edit. Thanks for the gold, internet stranger. When people come crying to us, our first inclination is to fix the problem, since this is often Not possible. Lead with something along the lines of, can I vent for a minute? Or anything that signals to us this is just a time for active listening, rather than a problem solving session. Men want to be wanted and desired too. I can count the number of times a woman has come out and either asked me out or told me she was attracted to me on one hand. And from my understanding, that is a high number. We don't miss hints because we are dense or stupid. We miss them because we have learned the hard way that sometimes it's just a friendly compliment or some such. That embarrassment sticks with you. If you've ever looked at a dude and though wow he's attractive / I'd like to go out with him, go talk to him. Men love confident women. And even if he doesn't reciprocate, you will make his day, or maybe even his year. I still remember the first time it happened. My freshman year of HS, a girl came up out of the blue and told me she loved my jacket. Katie, if you're reading this, thank you. That is still my favorite jacket 7 years later. If we tie down anything in the back of a pickup truck or trailer, it's physically impossible for us not to stand back and say that's not going anywhere. This is shockingly accurate. Might even be accompanied by shaking the object a bit and looking at your friend for confirmation that he also saw how much it's not going anywhere. Edit, Silver? Thank you so much. We really do think your hair is good. It looked good before and after you got a haircut. It looked good curly and it looked good straight. It looked good when you woke up and when you made it. As long as it's shaped like the hair we gave girls on stick figures when we were 5 years old, we think it looks good. We don't get the hint. Saying I almost broke my neck in the driveway is not the same as asking us to shovel it. In my mind I'm thinking thanks for the heads up, I'll be careful. Subtle hints do not work. Obvious hints do not work. Anything short of spelling it out ABC style at us will not work. When I try to pick up on hints I get it wrong almost every time. Oftentimes, we genuinely don't care where we go to eat because we are just hungry and want food. Any food, as long as you eat some too. Edit, I'm glad someone liked my toilet comment enough to give me gold. I promise to use this responsibly. 99.9% of the time, I don't care. I'm not being a pushover by having you choose what to eat because I might as well fry some hot dogs and cook pasta, add ketchup and voila. Dinner. But I already know that isn't fancy enough, so you choose. Luckily, I found someone that'll actually eat that, so our days of not knowing isn't very indecisive. We just raid the cupboard and freezer and make ourselves whatever. I'm a girl and I've found out through the years that when guys say something, don't think too much into it, like what's the hidden meaning? Don't overthink it. Guys normally say stuff that should be taken at face value. We had a friend in college who would always try to figure out what a guy meant. I mean, this was constant. Every time she started to try and figure out what the subtle meaning was, we would say, Chrissy, the sky is blue. Nothing more. It confounds me every time I hear this. Like, how is being direct and straightforward with your words not the first expectation when anyone hears someone speak? What kind of inefficient communication skills have developed among women that the default is to not trust the immediate meaning of words? The mental struggle we have to go through to not scratch around our groin in a public setting. It'll take 100% of my willpower to not do it. The itching can drive me insane, yet the euphoria from actually scratching it is so good. I often imagine this must be what it's like scratching a dog's ears. The nod. When you see a guy you don't know, or kind of know, but don't really know well enough to talk to walks by, you give a subtle nod of your head, which they return. I talked to my wife about it, and she confirms that women do not do this, but that they sometimes smile instead. Edit, because it keeps coming up. Some girls also give the nod. Typically, an up nod is for your friends, and a down nod is for strangers or less than friends. This could subconsciously have to do with a baring or hiding of the throat. Thanks everyone for the comments. Edit 2. Some women nod also. I have been told no need to add another identical comment. As a favor, I worked on a girl's car one time and got pretty dirty. Afterwards, she asked me if I wanted to come inside and take a shower. I told her no because I hadn't brought any clean clothes to put on after the shower. She just kinda giggled. Yeah, us guys aren't exactly too bright when it comes to reading between the lines. How many nights have you laid awake replaying this what if in your mind? Similar story for me. In 9th grade, my friend and I were hanging out with a third friend, who was a girl I had a crush on. Eventually she invites us back to her house to continue hangs, and turns out her parents are out of town and her older brother was staying with his girlfriend, so it's just the three of us. We watch some shit on TV and eventually my friend says it's getting late, and he has to go home, so he does, and now it's just me and her sitting on the couch watching Seinfeld. Eventually she turns to me and says, would you like to see my new bathing suit? In my brain, I thought she meant she would go get it, bring it back in her hands, and hold it out, and show it to me. I really wasn't interested in that scenario, so I said nah. She said oh, okay. We watched TV for another 20 minutes then I went home. I figured out what she meant 11 years later. Bought a new car. Girl told me the back seat had a lot of space to do whatever. Told her the trunk had more space, and showed her it. She left because she had class. On the way home I realized what she meant, and I cock-blocked myself. Edit. Wow guys, thanks for the upvotes. Older me has learned my lesson, and no longer making those mistakes. Edit again. Thanks for the gold kind stranger. Wowie. Haha, oh man. You may have also accidentally threatened her too. Did she walk away in a rush? Thanks for watching this video. If you already subscribed, thank you very much. Public daily new videos, you can check previous videos.